So on to our first speaker tonight, who is short story writer Rion Amilcar Scott. Rion is the author of The World Doesn't Require You, so true, and Insurrections, which won the Penn Robert W. Bingham Prize for debut fiction. His work has been published in the Kenyon Review, The Rumpus, Pank, and Confrontation, among others. And tonight he'll be hearkening back to simpler days and simpler pranks. Ladies and gentlemen and gentle people, Rion Amilcar Scott.
What's up, folks out there in internet land? I'm pretending you guys are applauding and screaming. I see my friend Lillian is typing my name in all caps, so I hear her voice screaming. So I'm gonna when I think of those were the days, I think back to to a time when we used to I think most people call it doorbell ditching. In my second book, I wrote a story called The Nigger Knockers, and I wrote that because there was a time when we did that, and we called it nigger knocking, and I have no idea where that came from, where that name originated from. And I was thinking about it. Isn't that the weirdest thing in the world that we would just say, hey, let's go nigger knocking, and you want to go nigger knocking? Yeah, let's go nigger knocking. And we would just go and do that. And I started when I started writing. I thought about what is the origin of that, and I could never figure out the origin. I'm not crazy. I'm not the only person who called it that. But when I think about doing that, most of the time I'm thinking about elementary school and being 9 or 10 and running around knocking. But I recently remembered probably the last time I did it. We were in high school, and it was me and this guy named Marcus, and there was a guy we called Doodoo, and a Jamaican guy called Sluggy. He was a little older than us. Sluggy was super fast. Sluggy, you couldn't outrun Sluggy. Marcus was pretty fast himself. Doodoo was not fast at all. And there was a school nearby us called Rock Creek Forest Elementary School. And Rock Creek Forest was it was a place where we used to go and we play basketball sometimes after school, and just generally hang out. And some of my friends actually went there in elementary school, so they had a connection to it. My memory, one of my memories of it previous to this was it was a half day for elementary school for high school students, but it wasn't a half day for elementary school students. So we didn't know that. We started playing basketball, and the teacher came out and informed us that there wasn't a half day for elementary school students, and we had to go. And it was fine, and we started walking away. And she keeps yelling at us as if we had defied her. And we're gonna call the authorities to make sure you guys don't come back. And we look back and say, hey, why are you yelling at us like that? We didn't disrespect you. We just got up and we were just leaving. So on this day, Sluggy and Doodle and me and Marcus on this day, long after that time, we were bored. We had nothing to do, and it's after school. And Marcus's house is a house that we all used to go to and just hang out. He had a house that was behind the school, and you could walk the little path behind several other houses that you could take. And the people in those houses didn't mind that we walked past those houses, that we walked through their yards to get to Marcus's house. So you'd walk through the field, through the path, and then to Marcus's house, and it was all fine. And so we're sitting around Marcus's house. What do you want to do? There's nothing to do. And it's like, hey, you think about nigger knocking. And Marcus is super cautious, and not in this neighborhood, not in my neighborhood. And I thought about Rock Creek Forest. I thought about the day when they're yelling at us about getting off the basketball court. And I said, you know, I'm sure there's somebody in the school. It's after hours. I'm sure there's somebody in the school. And so we went up to the school, and I think the idea of nigga knocking had sort of went out of our head, and so we would play basketball a little bit, and then we're bored again, and then it's kind of like, yeah, remember that idea we had earlier, and so we crept around the school and look in the windows, and sure enough, after hours, the janitor is there. Guy is cleaning up after a long day, and so we knock, and we wait, and he comes out to see who it is, and we start hiding around the school and running, and we're laughing, and to us, this is great. We're having a great time. This is hilarious, and we do it again. We go back and this time, we send Doodoo go knock, and Doodoo knocks, and then we scatter. We find a place to hide, and then it's Marcus's turn. Marcus, go knock, and Marcus knocks, and then Sluggy, he's the oldest. He should know better, but he goes and knocks, and when it's my turn. I can tell the janitor's getting upset. He keeps coming back. He has to keep stopping his work, and it's funny, but it's unsustainable. So it's like, yeah, I take one last look inside, and bang, bang, bang. I bang on the door, and then we just sort of mill about. We're not really thinking anything of it. We hide a little bit. We're just sort of milling about. Then the guy comes up, hey, and he's angry, and he's like, hey, you come here, and you could feel my heart jumping through my chest, and so we all start booking it, and we're running across the field. It's a muddy day, and so I'm concerned that I'm gonna slip and fall, and then he's on our heels, and so we're running. There's mud flying everywhere. I can see mud all over the Marcus and Sluggy. They're faster than me, so they're ahead of me. I can see mud all over their backs, and I'm like, and Doodoo's behind me, and he's least athletic. And the slowest, and it's kind of like he might not make it. And I can hear Marcus screaming, "Do not go to my house! Do not go to my house! Do not go to my house!" And we're just running through the field. And I know from Jim that if you look back when you're running, that slows you down. You just gotta continue your run. And so I'm running and staring ahead, and by the time we get to the path and the field, I get a chance to slow down and look back, and I don't know where everybody is, and I know not to go to Marcus's house, and I'm hiding in the forest, and I just hide out for a while. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do, and so I'm in the forest for a while, and I don't know if Doodoo got caught. I know Marcus and Sluggy got away. So eventually, I just have to peek out, and I go down the hill and into Marcus's neighborhood, and eventually we run into each other, and we all of us rendezvous, and Doodoo shows up, and we just start laughing, and that and I swear the guy was on our heels, and that was the last time ever that I went nigga knocking, and that poor janitor was just doing his job, and had to put up with us that afternoon, but we made it out, and we found other mischief to get into on other days. Thank you.
I mean, I have so many questions. Okay, you can't just throw names at us right at the top like Doo-Doo and Sluggy and not tell us where they came from or who got to decide on their names. Were you part of the christening committee?
Well, Sluggy came to us with that name. His name
Okay.
was, he had another name. Of course, he had another name that his parents gave him. And if you would call his house, is Sluggy there? They would not like to hear that. That's not what he wanted to, what they wanted him to be called. Doodoo came to us from Arizona, and we're in Maryland, and it was. Oh, we never met anybody from Arizona. It was a completely foreign culture to us, and he had a different accent, and
What's an Arizona accent?
I don't even know. And he, and unfortunately, he got that name, and we were kind of jerks, and we continued to call him that name throughout high school. He's a real good guy.
Now, if you're in touch with these guys, do you still call them Sluggy and Doo-Doo?
I would not call Doodoo Doodoo. I probably would call Sluggy Sluggy.
Fair enough.
I don't know if he goes. I have no idea if he goes by it these days. But that was a name that I don't know how he got that name, but I assume it's a name he brought with him from Jamaica. And I have no idea what his friends call him now, but I would not. Doodoo is something that I look back on in shame that we called him that when that was not his name.
Now, I also have to ask the phrase "end knocking." I'm not going to say the whole phrase. Is this something that a lot of people like? Was this just you, Sluggy, and Doo-Doo who came up with this game?
No. It for some reason we never questioned where it came from. It's just what we called it. When I started writing this story, I started looking it up. Other people call it that. It's not something that we made up. It's just a. I guess it's I guess their name. I guess it's a regional. There's some regions that call it that. I don't know what the origins are. So I made an origin. I made up an origin for it. But it's just one of these. It's just one of these things.
Do you think it's a generational thing, or do you think some kids today do this?
I don't know. It's a mystery to me. And the biggest mystery is why we never questioned what the name of it. We just did it.
Yeah.
We called it that, and we called it that, and moved on with our lives.
Somebody in the audience, our friend Douglas Purdy here, is saying we used to call it ding and ditch in West Medford, Boston. So
yeah, doorbell ditching. That was a few people called it that.
And finally, what was your nickname, my friend?
I didn't have one. I didn't have one.
I don't know how you escaped that. Rion, thank you so much.
Thank you.